Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. It's your boy Town Biz. All right, check this out. Okay, so I'm doing these videos in regards to the Tiffany Haddish, Avery Spears situation. A lot of people wanted me to give my opinion on it, so I'm giving my opinion on it. Now, Avery Spears spoke about this on his show, the 5150 show, and he put the entire blame on Avery Spears, and he tried to cover for his friend Tiffany Haddish. And I think that's noble. I think that's cool. And at the end of the day, you know, you want to protect your friends. But in this situation, for him to just strictly try to put it on Avery Spears, I'm sorry, I'm not rolling with that. Corey Holcomb, I think, is a very talented comedian because he is funny. He's good at roasting people, and he can make you laugh. But then you've seen some things in which Corey Holcomb didn't do his due diligence, and he didn't handle things in an appropriate and basically obvious way to handle a situation. You know, I fell back a little bit on Corey Holcomb because of how he talked to Zoe Williams, and he basically kicked him off the show for basically defending himself as a man. Because at the end of the day, Corey Holcomb, he doesn't want to take accountability for what happened with Avery Spears, because at the end of the day, Avery Spears was his guest and he invited him on. Corey Holcomb sat up there and let that go on for pretty much 2 hours. When you saw that Avery Spears was drunk, intoxicated, high, whatever the case may be, and you saw him ridiculing and disrespecting your co-host, I mean, the obvious thing to do is say, you know what, Avery, we gonna get you up out of here. We gonna get you up out of here. We gonna call a Lyft. We gonna call an Uber. We'll get you out of here, and we'll do this another day. But he sat up there and just let Avery Spears make an ass out of himself and just basically, you know, conduct himself in a very unprofessional and disrespectful manner. And once again, Avery Spears doesn't want to take accountability in what role he played. At the end of the day, Zoe Williams was his co-host. And at the end of the day, it's my job to protect my co-host, my co-workers. You think if I had a show, let's just say, I had LB and 2 Raw or somebody, or 7-8 on the show, I'll bring somebody I know as, you know, a guest. But this dude come into the studio drunk or high or starts drinking, gets drunk, and then he starts pointing his finger and just talking just like a damn fool. You think I'm gonna continue to let that go on? You think I'm gonna sit up there and let my coworker be disrespected for 2 hours? I'm gonna say, okay, this guy's drunk. I'm gonna apologize to my co-host. I'm gonna say, okay, we're gonna get this guy out of here before something happens. I mean, should Zoe Williams have put his hands on Avery Spears? Well, most of us would say probably not. But we understood. We understood to sit up there and just take that kind of verbal abuse, to sit up there and be degraded like that by another black man. See, we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to go that deep. I saw another black man degrading another black man, putting his finger in his face. So like I said before, Corey Holcomb is just as much at fault, if not more at fault, because he didn't contain the situation. He just sat up there like he was just stuck on stupid. Anybody with common sense knew that Zoe was a ticking time bomb, and you could just tell how he was looking, and he probably was waiting for Corey Holcomb to do something. But then finally, when Corey Holcomb goes off on him, he makes it Zoe Williams' fault. And Zoe Williams just sat up there and took it, kept his composure. But I was thinking to myself, why don't you have that same energy for Avery Spears? Why don't you say, hey, Avery, man, either stop doing what you're doing or we going to have to put you out. And me, like I said, I would have said, okay, we gonna get this dude out of here. Like I said, I'm going to grab him. I'm gonna grab him. I'm going to call it. I'm going to say, hey, man, somebody call this dude a lift. Or if he drove there, just convince him to take a lift. Let me, I'll get his car keys. I'll bring him his car, later on. But like I said, just watching that, it was cringeworthy seeing that guy conduct himself like that. Nobody wants to take any accountability. And like I said, Corey Holcomb should have stopped it. He should have stopped it. He could have stopped it. He had ample opportunity to stop it. And then when everything goes down, he strictly puts the blame on Zoe Williams. When it was your fault for, letting that continue to happen on your show. That is supposed to be your show. You are supposed to keep a lid on your show. You're supposed to keep it tight. And you are supposed to protect your co-workers or your co-host at all times. And you failed. And it was a lot of people that saw Corey Holcomb do that. And they kind of fell back on him. I fell back on him after that. I was like, hey, man, you talk to Zoe Williams that way. But then, like I said, the nigga you should have got at, Avery Spears, you didn't do nothing. But now all of a sudden, you have all this anger and animosity towards Avery Spears. You got to take ownership. You just as much at fault for what happened as Avery Spears. And neither one of you dudes want to take accountability. And all that screaming shit that Corey Holcomb be doing, that don't work on me. I can tell you that right now. That don't intimidate me whatsoever. Because I could raise my voice just like anybody else. I know Corey Holcomb is 6'2" and all that kind of stuff. And I ain't saying I'll fight him or no shit like that. I'm just saying, I don't be worried about that kind of stuff. So that's just my take on the whole situation. Corey Holcomb is just as much to blame for what transpired 5 or 6 years ago as Avery Spears. They're both at fault. Avery Spears is at fault for coming on there acting like he ain't got no damn common sense or respect. And Corey Holcomb is at fault for letting that go on as long as it did. Real talk. Nobody ever would have came on no outlet of mine and pulled no stuff like that. No. Because I would have stopped it before it even got as bad as it did. I would have said, okay, I see where this is going. Let me stop this right now. Like I said, all Corey Holcomb had to do is say, you know what, Avery, we gonna go to a commercial break or we gonna pause the show and we'll be back 15, 20 minutes. Like I said, I would have paused the show. I would have got Avery Spears a Lyft or Uber, whatever the case may be. Maybe I would have temporarily took his car keys and just said, hey, after the show, we'll bring you your car keys, but we gonna make sure you get home. And if he would, let me tell you something, had they did that, man, that would have been a good look. It would have been a good look for everybody. Corey Holcomb, even somewhat salvaged Avery Spears' reputation. And so that's all I have to say about that. Anyway, it's your boy Town Biz. I'm out.